Hi, Steve and Caleb from Brownells, and today we got a really good tech tip for you.
Today, Steve, the best way to clean a gun.
The very best.
The very best. And honestly, if you're one of those people that take your gun to a gunsmith shop for like a detailed cleaning, this is probably what they're doing, if they're smart and they want to make money.
Right.
So ultrasonic cleaners are the way to go. This particular one is an Infante, and we carry, I think, 3 different sizes of these. This is what would be considered the medium size.
For us, it's the Goldilocks size. It's just right.
Yeah, because they make one that is twice as big as this.
Right.
And they also make one that's about half the size of this.
Yeah, that big one would be for like a department or something, or a big gun club, I would think.
Yeah, or if you're operating this is good for a lot of gunsmith shops if you're operating a larger gunsmith shop. Like the one I worked at in South Louisiana, we did a lot of cleanings around hunting season time, especially with all those duck hunters and stuff.
Oh,
but,
man.
Yeah, so we had the bigger one. But this one's great. You can clean a lot of stuff in this one.
This would be super for at home if you could afford it. This is nice.
Yeah, and also in this video, we want to talk about some of the common misconceptions of ultrasonic cleaners.
Okay.
Kind of bust those myths at the same time. So this is also like maybe a little mini Smith Buster.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Maybe a little bonus.
But let's talk about what this is, what it does, and why we're using it real quick here. So like I said, this is a Infante ultrasonic cleaner. It holds a bunch of liquid. We have a cleaning solution in here that they provide. You can use other cleaning solutions as well. Just know that if you're using, like typically you would use water and then put some kind of activated cleaning solution in there. If you're using, if you go to the store, you get like Simple Green, or I think one of the hardware store brand, Royal something purple. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. But like Simple Green, the whatever purple cleaner, that kind of stuff, they work really well, but you got to be careful because their active ingredient is essentially lye.
Right.
And that will absolutely eat anodizing. You may not notice it if you're using a cold tank and you're just putting stuff in there for a few minutes, but if you're using a heated tank, even like 5 minutes in that thing will strip anodizing off of a receiver.
Right.
I learned that the hard way working in the gunsmith shop. We had a heated tank, man. I put an AR handguard in there, a good one from a reputable manufacturer, a handguard and a lower receiver. Came back 10 minutes later, and I was like, cool, now I gotta buy the customer new stuff.
And those are hard anodized. That's not the soft anodizing you can do at home.
Yeah, the T6 hard coat anodized. Yeah. It'll strip them. So be careful using that stuff. On steel, it was fine.
Right. This solution is also eco-friendly, it says on the package.
Yeah, this solution won't wreck your anodizing, so just use this stuff. And this solution, actually in a tank this size, the solution they provide will clean about, they estimate about 150 handguns.
Yeah.
That's
and
a lot.
It's pretty much odorless. If you want to bring it into your workshop.
I don't smell a thing, Steve. Yeah.
That's what surprised me.
Yeah, it's great. We've had this thing in here. We turned it on 30 minutes ago, had it running just to get it heating up and everything, and made the room a little warmer maybe because it's
a little.
The sucker runs hot. It heats up quick.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's interesting. Let's keep moving, I guess. But let's talk about what you can clean in one of these bad boys. So before me here, I have the 3 guns I've been shooting the most this year, and I've been shooting the heck out of them. I have, of course, my SIG 226 Legion. It's pretty dirty. I'll show you in a minute here. I have this Springfield Prodigy, Steve. I've been shooting the heck out. This has been my favorite gun to shoot ever of all time so far. This thing just shoots good. And as you can see, it's pretty darn filthy. So we'll take it apart too here. We have a Dead Air Sierra 5. Been shooting the heck out of this thing.
Yeah, that's full of gunk.
And my BRN 4 here, it's absolutely disgusting.
Right. Plus you got a piston there somewhere, don't you, that needs a little
I got the piston pulled out, charging handle. You can put the receiver in here, because you can set it up in the tank to where your optic is sticking above it if you don't want to pull your optic off. As long as your optic's above the water, it's fine. So you can actually rest your receivers in here. Also, if you have something that's Cerakoted like this, Cerakote is okay.
I know. I checked the instructions twice.
I know. I used to be the mindset was Cerakote's not okay.
Right.
Any other
Right.
coatings aren't okay. But a lot of the coatings are actually okay in ultrasonic as long as you're not leaving it in there forever.
Yeah,
So
that'll tear down anything.
we'll check and see if that's true with this gun.
What about nickel finishes?
Nickel finishes are fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
What about old nickel that's starting to flake?
If
See,
it's starting to
that's-
flake, probably not, because
Yeah.
it'll get up under.
it works up under there like a
Yeah.
dang gopher, you know, digging a furrow.
Yeah, as long as you're not already flaking, you're good.
Right.
But yeah, if you're already flaking, I'd say no.
Right. And the armalloy and metalloy finishes, they'd be fine in here, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll all be good to go too. It also comes with a couple of baskets.
Yep.
So 2 of these
This one's got a
baskets-
nice feature to it too. You want to show them?
Yeah, rest that sucker on there. So it comes with 2 of these baskets, and it comes with these magnets here. These are pretty strong magnets. You can mount them to the cabinet. So for example, like the Springfield Prodigy slide right here, we can just actually take the slide, mount it so that the optic is above the water on this magnet, and drop it in. And I know you're probably saying it's, you know, ultrasonic magnet rubbing against your gun, probably not a good idea.
I did.
Yeah, that's the exact question he asked, and I looked at the magnets and I said, oh, these are coated in a polymer.
Yeah.
So you don't have to worry about it marring your gun, which is great. And then a water displacing oil tank.
Right.
So once you come out of your ultrasonic cleaning solution, you know, you give it a good shake, let it dry, which we'll do in a minute here. And then you throw that sucker on into your water displacing oil. You leave it in there for a little bit, let all that water displacing oil get in and displace that water, as in the name you know describes. Then you rest it on the tank again, let all that drip out, and you can take like a air compressor hose or something, blow off the excess, lube and reassemble. That's it.
And the oil has a slight odor, but you got to get your nose right down into it to detect it. I mean, from here I can't even.
Yeah, I
tell it's here.
haven't done that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these can be used inside, no problem. Once they get dirty enough, they may smell a little bit,
Yeah, but no.
depending on what you're shooting. If you're shooting that imported crap.
Man, I'm like this close to wanting to boil some crawfish in here. This
Well,
close, man. They'd be so easy to
Can we
peel.
change out the water?
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't want to use cleaning solution. I'm not an animal. I'm going to use like that liquid Louisiana boil. You know what I'm talking about? Anywho, let's go ahead and start getting some stuff put in here. I'll start with the Springfield Prodigy.
Sure.
I'm just going to pull the slide off of the frame here. And Steve, I think I'm going to leave the barrel and guide rod and spring, all that in there.
Just to see what it does?
Just to see, you know, see how it goes.
Okay.
So,
You're going to leave the firing pin in too?
actually, you know what? I'm going to take that out.
Yeah, otherwise you'll have fluid squirting out of that firing pin channel.
Yeah,
for
and
a few
so
shots.
the key thing about this is you don't have to disassemble everything, but if you do, it'll clean faster because you don't have, it's just easier for the gunk to get out of there.
Yeah.
And I'll just pop this out real quick, hopefully, without losing an eyeball. There we go. All right, and pull the extractor too here. If I can get a hold of it.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I gotta.
You might have to take the barrel out just to
Look at me
That
go.
is tight.
Yeah.
Some tension on that extractor. No wonder it ejects so well.
Yeah, so I mean, I definitely appreciate that Springfield uses an internal extractor on these.
Yeah.
They didn't go to the external extractor like a lot of other 2011s.
Yep. It's okay on a Browning high power.
Yeah, I love me an internal extractor. Yeah, Browning high powers and 1911s, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, so I kind of want to, I know that the water level is about 3 squares above it here, so I'm just going to stick that sucker to it.
And adjust as needed.
And adjust as needed. And let's just kind of see where it sits there.
You're mostly there.
I can go a little lower even.
There.
Yeah, that's it
Yeah.
right there. Sweet.
What about night sights?
Night sights are actually good to go.
That surprises me.
I know. So I would say the only night sights that aren't okay are the ones that have like the white outline painted around them. If
Okay.
there's any like paint around the tube, then that paint probably, in most cases, probably not okay.
In the past, some of those night sights were installed with a compound that never really fully hardened, I don't think.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
I remember that not being okay
They'd be a
to
little
do.
squishy and they'd come out in an ultrasonic, but
Yeah, modern night sights are okay now. Who would have thought?
I think all those old night sights, their lamps have gone out long ago.
Yeah.
I mean, this was in the dark ages.
So I think it goes without saying, optics and electronics, not okay.
No,
So we'll take
for
the
the most
flashlight
part,
off.
no.
This, I'm going to set this in upside down
Yeah.
so that everything's falling out, right? Just like so. I'm actually going to relieve tension on that hammer so that spring in there is not compressed,
Okay.
so that all the goodness can get into the...
Right,
you know
and
what I'm
it'll
saying.
drain out. We just got to make sure it drains out the right way after we put it in the displacing oil.
Yeah, and these things here, I'm just going to kind of stick them.
Those magnets are handier than I thought they'd be. Man,
Yeah, look at
they're
that.
nice for small parts. If you've ever had to fish something out of a bluing tank at the bottom, you know what I'm talking about.
I'm just going to sticking that junk up on there.
I could use this for bluing.
You could use this for bluing. Yeah. Oh, the 226. So we'll see if these night sights survive.
All right.
I'm just going to
Yeah,
fool
just
them.
put it in the bottom and see what happens.
Yep.
All right.
This one I'm going to pull parts out of here.
Sure, why not? Why not?
Already
Because
there.
it needs a really good cleaning anyway.
It does. I haven't cleaned this thing in a while. All right.
Yeah.
So throw that down there. Yeah.
By the way, we're doing, modern type plastic pistols here and some AR parts. But if you're a guy that works on like old double shotguns and you want to clean one without having to disassemble it and get in those nooks and crannies, this is the way to go. You just take the stock off, put the receiver in there, you're good to go.
My charging hand. Look at how gross my charging handle is.
I don't want to look. I can't look.
Yeah. Get in there. All right. I'm just gonna drop that guy on in.
Man. And basically, if it'll fit in the solution in the basket, it'll get clean.
Yeah.
The vibrations will find it.
Yep.
And the parts can touch. It's not like when you're bluing, you want to keep them separated then, but for this, it doesn't matter. It's all going to get clean. That is a gross looking bolt carrier grill.
I mean, it's absolutely terrible, Steve.
That should be another video. Do any gunsmiths actually clean their guns, their own guns?
I do when there's a video involved.
When you're getting paid to do it.
I'm getting paid to clean this one. Look at my hands.
Oh,
Man.
do we
All
need
right.
to file an accident report meaning you got dirty?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. See what I got to put up with all day long.
All day long. All right.
Okay, I think
What's step 2?
step 2, immersion.
Immersion. Oh. There you go.
Yeah.
Little adjustment there.
Yeah, the water level was a little higher because there's more stuff in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Science.
Archimedes, I think, came up with that.
Whatever. Okay, so now we just turn it on and wait, and then we'll go from there. So you have a timer on here, so you can set the timer. It'll automatically turn off whenever the timer runs out,
Yeah.
obviously, or you can just switch it to the on position and it'll run indefinitely. I think we're just going to do that. All right, and we got the heater on. The heater is cranked all the way up right here. Oh, you can see what's going on here.
Sounds like angry bees.
Yep, so yeah, we'll get some cleaning and come back after that. Boom.
Oh,
Yeah,
already?
I know. And we went and got some coffee. I'm not even finished with my cappuccino yet.
What do we have? Like 15 minutes they've been in there?
Probably less than that, honestly.
Okay.
But yeah, so the important thing to remember here is depending on your level of soil, if you will, you can go as long as you need to go.
Right.
Back in the gunsmith shop, I used to just put a bunch of stuff in the ultrasonic tank, turn it on, and go work on something else. Come back and do what I needed to do.
Right.
And let's just kind of, I like to do one of these numbers right here. Mm-hmm. Get a little bit of that going.
A little rinsing action.
Yeah, and then we'll put it in old drain mode here.
Let it drain. We've got some steam coming off there. That heater really does the job when you set it on high.
This sucker gets hot.
Yeah.
And let's take a look and see the fruits of our labor, see what's been going on.
Okay, what was really dirty in
So
there?
first thing I noticed is that charging handle was absolutely filthy. Just a heads up, that is hot. That's hot. That's a hot piece of metal. That's hot. It's real hot. That's okay though. We'll get it up. We're good. All right. So that's that good Geisley anodizing there, but you can see that sucker's a lot cleaner. And there's still a little bit of a very slight amount of gunk in there, and that's not necessarily stuck to it. It's just kind of in there because it's floating in the liquid, you know. Yeah, and it just kind of washes out there. You can also...
You want to wipe them down and brush them off anyway.
Yeah, you can just real quick hit it with a brush. And none of this stuff is like actually caked on. It's all coming right off, which is great. That's what you want to see.
Yep, but it's good at removing carbon. And if you are into buying old guns and you get like, say you get an old Colt or Smith & Wesson revolver and the hammer goes forward like this because there's too much WD-40 or something in there, put it in one of these. Dissolve everything, get it out of there.
Yeah, look how clean that thing is.
Oh man.
It's brand new.
That was nasty.
Minus a little wear, it's brand new.
That was nasty when you put it in there.
That is wild. I'm always surprised at how well these things works.
Yeah.
And I think it's just because like we haven't had one of these in here a while, so I've been doing it manually.
Yeah.
And watching interns do it manually.
Enough of that now.
Yeah, you know.
No reason to get carried away anymore.
Yeah, and this SIG was super dirty. You can't really tell because it's the PVD coating, but it's cleaner. And that bolt carrier
That one could
group,
probably use another 15 minutes.
Yeah, this bolt carrier group. Well, I was gonna say it could probably go a little longer too, but there's nothing coming off of it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's impressive.
Came right off there.
Yeah, look, that's the dirty spot, and there's nothing coming out of there.
And if you got nitrided parts, that stuff just falls off of it.
Yes, I mean we set it and forget it.
Yeah.
And
it doesn't get much easier than this.
yeah, so I think from here we just need to go to the water displacing oil.
Yep.
And yeah, so let's do that. Oh, my night sights. I'm gonna see if my night sights still work here, Steve. They're still glowing. All right, cool. Saved me
Nice.
$150 not having to replace those.
All right, put them in.
All right, so water displacing oil, you literally just go right on in. All right, we'll just make sure everything's kind of submersed there. Oh, too deep. Okay, we're good.
And it only takes a couple minutes.
Yeah.
You could swish them around a little bit if you want. And
Yeah, all you're doing here, just letting that oil get where the water was, and
Yep.
it basically just kind of pulls it out there.
yep, pulls it out and sinks it to the bottom.
Puts a protective layer on the surfaces of, I say the metal, but I mean everything. And
But look, the oil is staying crystal clear with the parts in there because they're clean.
right, yeah. So going
That's
in here
nice.
with the oil lasts a really long time because you're putting clean parts in it.
Yeah.
If it does get dirty, you can just drain it, right?
Yeah, now this thing looks like your bath water, man.
Yeah,
It's
my
awful.
bath water. Jeez, how do you know what my bath water looks like, weirdo?
It is gray, dark gray,
Yeah, it's
almost sniper gray.
you know, this is almost one of my favorite colors. Man, that's some good looking water.
That's no.
No.
It did the job. This water shows it.
Yeah, and this one will go many, many more cycles.
Yeah.
It's not even close to the end of its life
Yep.
yet. That cleaner will continue doing its thing. And this tank actually has a nozzle, or I say a nozzle, a valve.
Uh-huh.
On the side here, I'm going to very gently turn this thing. but you can see this big handle here. You just put a 5-gallon bucket under here, turn that, and it drains your tank. It's that easy. You can even do probably just a partial replacement because all the junk's at the bottom.
Yeah.
If you let it sit for a while, of course, without running it, turn that valve, and then a lot of the junk will get out of there, and you can just do partial tank replacement, so you don't have to replace the entire thing every time.
And they say in the instructions that the actual active ingredient does not evaporate. You're just replacing water.
Oh, okay. So that's super useful information too. So that's great to know.
And with the oil, when it gets too murky, gunky, whatever, you pour it into another container, let it settle out. All the water and gunk goes to the bottom. Then you pour off the good stuff back into your tank and keep on using it because it doesn't wear out.
Yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and lift this up, and then we'll let them go so they can get back to work, Steve.
All right. Yeah.
All right, there we go.
Let them drain like you normally do, and wipe them down, brush them out, whatever.
That's all there is to it.
Yeah. Sure beats all that scrubbing.
Yes, it does.
And we didn't have to remove any optics or night sights.
We didn't.
And we left a lot of parts in those guns.
We did. We left a ton of parts in those guns, and they're clean. So I just need to wipe them down. I'm probably just going to use some compressed air, blow that excess off of there after I let them sit for a bit. Lubricate when I reassemble, just using your favorite gun lubricant on the standard places, those high wear areas, and that's it. You're ready to head back out to the range.
Nice and easy.
Yep.
Nice and easy. So if you do a lot of gun cleaning, this is really the way to go.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, you can put AR uppers and lowers and all that stuff in there too. Just make sure your optics are above the water, and that's all you need.
Yeah. If you're a competitor and you got friends that compete, man, you could all get in together and chip in and
That's a good point.
put this in somebody's garage and just clean all your guns after the weekend shooting's over.
Yep, that's an excellent point. So yeah,
Set the timer, kick back, and have a beverage.
Yeah,
Wait for them to get clean.
And if you don't have friends, you can be like, you can just go find a group of people, be like, yo, I've got an ultrasonic cleaner and beer. You want to come over? And don't do it as creepy as I just did it, but that's the general point of it.
I wonder if you could clean jewelry in there.
I bet.
Be a selling point.
Jewelry shops use ultrasonic cleaner.
I know.
Yeah, they just use an ammonia-based type stuff.
Okay.
But yeah.
That brightens up, that acid brightens up the metals?
Yep, that's exactly
Okay.
it. So.
Nice. Don't use that on your guns.
Yeah, yeah, ammonia, no.
You don't want a frosty bore.
No, I don't know what that is, but no. That's, okay. Anywho, that's all there is to it, Steve.
Yeah. If you have any experience with ultrasonics, sound off in the comments below. We'd like to hear any tips you might have. In the meantime, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.